undergone, Abhayam, fully safe, Harim, the personality of God. Translation. The saintly king Katwanga, after being informed that the duration of his life would be only a moment more, at once freed himself from all material activities and took shelter of the supreme safety, the personality of God. Purport. A fully responsible man should always be conscious of the prime duty of the present human form of life. The activities to meet the immediate necessities of material life are not everything. One should always be alert in his duty for attainment of the best situation, the next life. Human life is meant for preparing ourselves for that prime duty. Maharaja Katwanga is mentioned herein as a saintly king, because even within the responsibility of the state management, he was not at all forgetful of the prime duty of life. Such was the cause with other Rajarshis, saintly kings, like Maharaja Yudhishthira and Maharaja Parikshit. They were all exemplary personalities on account of being alert in discharging their prime duty. Maharaj Katwanga was invited by demigods in the higher planets to fight demons, and as a king, he fought the battles to the full satisfaction of the demigods. The demigods, being fully satisfied with him, wanted to give him some benediction for material enjoyment. But Maharaj Katwanga, being very much alert to his prime duty, inquired from the demigods about his remaining duration of life. This means that he was not as anxious to accumulate some material benediction for the demigods as he was to prepare himself for the next life. He was informed by the demigods, however, that his life would last only a moment longer. The king at once left the heavenly kingdom, which is always full of material enjoyment of the highest standard, and coming down to this earth, took ultimate shelter of the all-safe personality of Godhead. He was successful in his great attempt and achieved liberation. This attempt, even for a moment, by the saintly king was successful, because he was always alert to his prime duty. Maharaj Parikshit was thus encouraged by the great Shukadeva Goswami, even though he had only 7 days left in his life to execute the prime duty of hearing the glories of the Lord in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. By the will of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit instantly met the great Shukadeva Goswami, and the great treasure of spiritual success left by him is nicely mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Tadati Swaparam Tikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Vishnu Parad Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna. Okay. There is amazing word, and this famous verse about Katwanga. And there are a couple of things which really kind of stuck in my mind while reading this purport. Prabhupada is repeating words, not words, terms. Prime duty. Human beings are measured according to how dutiful they are. Usually that's how they are appreciated. How they stick to their duty. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, in other terms, Shreya Swadharma Viguna. Can you find there are two of them? Probably you'll find one of them, and Vishal probably you'll find the other one. And you figured out which one is yours.
I found 335.
Okay, please read it.
Trans Dharma Viguna Paradharma Swadhishtita Swadharme Nithanam Shreya Paradharma Bhaya. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Instruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous.
Imitation is dangerous. Again, second one.
So 1847. So it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
When this verse relate, Prabhu, 318, a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason to not perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. It's talking about prescribed duties.
Yeah. The Bhagavad Gita is very much about duty. Because Arjuna wanted to neglect his duty. For a good reason, I would say. But still, Krishna gave a transcendental perspective. It looks like, according to our consciousness, we have particular duties. As Tvatmarati, one who is Atmarati in Bhagavad Gita. It says he has no duty. Can you find that one? Yes, Tvatmarati. Atmarati.
It's 317.
Can you read?
Yes, Tvatmarati Eva Syad, Atmatripta Shamanava, Atmani Eva Jasantushtas Tasya Karyam Navidyate. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty.
Doesn't mean that he doesn't have to serve Krishna. He also has to serve Krishna. Yeah. Even Atmaramas Chamunayo, Nigranta Apirukam. Even Atmaramas, they are attracted by Krishna. And actually, what's the use of being Atmarama and not being attracted to Krishna and surrender? Am I right? It's pointless. And actually, that kind of Atmarama or self-satisfaction, satisfaction in the self, is actually not sustained. It's not sustained. How long can you do that? That's why demigods when they were praying to Krishna in the womb of Devaki, they said that people who neglect Lord's feet, although they climbed up very high on yoga ladder, very elevated, very powerful, very free from the modes of nature, still they have to fall down. Because that's not the constitutional position of Atma. Atma is eternal servant of Krishna. So according to our consciousness, we have duties. And sometimes we do activities which don't really kind of occupy our whole consciousness. You know, like taking out trash from the kitchen. I mean, even if you're Atmarati, you have to take out trash. That's how it is. So does it mean that your consciousness is totally into trash? Now you're thinking about other things. So on the way, you'll take out the trash. You might even fix the sink. You might even, do different things in life. But all these like small activities, they don't really show what person is. Well, what really shows what a person is his main activity. Just like people take out trash from their kitchen, pretty much everyone is doing that. But then when you ask him, he will say, I'm an engineer, I'm a teacher. That's his main occupation. Occupation is like a little bit long-term activity. He's committed to that. So this is my duty. I've done my duty, so I'm done. But if somebody is not Krishna conscious, he's practically imitated. It's an imitation. Imitation engineer. Imitation housewife. Imitation student. Imitation street sweeper. Because Jivara Sarupa Hoy, Krishna Nitya Das. So prime duty is self-realization. So within that scope, we can do other things. We can be Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, outcast, all these things. But once we awaken to our prime duty, then priorities are different. That doesn't mean you stop being. Prabhupada even says, Arjuna was Kshatriya before the battle of Kurukshetra. He was a Kshatriya during the battle, and he was Kshatriya after the battle, but not eternal. He retired at one point. So that's very interesting. We get some kind of sometimes people they think sometimes on book distribution, but maybe not so much here. People tell me, my God is my family. For me, my family is God. I'm taking shelter of the family, wearing so many nice things, food, comfort, happiness, children. Or people say, my children. That's my God. And that's how they behave. They pay lip service to deities in the temple or to Quran, Bible, Shastra. But they are totally grihavrata. They have given a vow. I want to make this. It's so nice. Make nice house. nice comfort, nice food, everything nice. Actually, that's the mode of passion. How to make one's life comfortable. Usually think mode of passion is driving fast, being very breathing heavily, sweating, that's part of passion. But we have everything nice house, nice car, nice clothes, nice food, everything nice. That's the mode of passion. Because you want to enjoy, want to be happy, comfortable. And of course, within that comfortability, you want to have some fun. Yeah. But that means a person is neglecting his prime duty. So, okay. So what do you want me to just leave all this? No. It's not necessarily to leave everything, but you just become Krishna conscious. Understand who is Krishna. What is your duty for Krishna? Actually, our duty is to love Krishna. And because of lack of love for Krishna, we always feel dissatisfied inside, even if we make nice arrangement, nice house, nice car, nice food. We took care of the children, they also get all these nice things. But you give people nice things and they become bad. If you don't give people prime duty, Krishna consciousness, they will degrade. But it's amazing how people just go down. If you give them all these nice things, they just become spoiled. And this is very obvious in America. It's probably there was this class by Advaita Swami. Somebody asked him, I think it was in Mumbai, somewhere in so they asked Maharaj, in our Indian culture, our children, son is a nice person. He's also chanting Hare Krishna, trying to be Krishna conscious. But it's kind of unwritten rule that parents they should give a house, they should give a car to children, so they can marry nicely and be happy. Vishal Prabhu, is that true? That parents,
If they can afford it, maybe they will do it. But
Yeah.
mostly it's not the case.
mostly it's not the case because people cannot afford it. But now with this IT industry, many people can afford it. And what happens if you give people all these nice things, if they are just granted to them, they don't have to work for them, they don't have to perform duty to get these things if they want them, then they take it for granted. They feel I'm entitled. They feel, yeah, I'm entitled. Okay, this is actually how it should be done. I want to I want to, graduate with already settled house, a car, all these nice things. So in this world, people think this is goodness because it feels good. But actually, it's the mode of passion. And Maharaj, in his example, he says, ultimately, whatever we are doing, everything is done so we can be happy. But you grant things to people, is that going to make them happy? Just like people concoct their duty. Okay, this is my vision. I have a vision. I'm gonna grant my grandchildren everything so they can just be happy. Every grandchild should get a house, should get a car once he graduates. And Maharaj said that no, it's not your duty to do that. And the man said, yeah, but in our Indian culture, he said, your Indian culture is here to give your child Krishna consciousness. And whatever comes after he becomes Krishna conscious, he'll be safe. Because Krishna is yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Krishna is giving what is necessary, whatever is available. Your prime duty is to make him Krishna conscious. Instead, you should grant him Krishna consciousness instead of granting him all these feel-good things. Like that, he'll just become like a spoiled brat. You know what is spoiled brat?
Make this everything or nothing.
He's lazy and he's always nagging. I'm not happy. I don't feel, I don't have Porsche. Because when I go to school, I want to show Porsche. So I want Porsche. I'm not happy if you don't. I know you have that money, and you're not giving it. So you can see, without spiritual duty, awareness, people just go bad. And every generation just goes worse. That's why Maharaj even mentions how these young students from India, from China, they outperform students from America for the most part. Because these guys, they think we are entitled. This is how it should be. I'm just gonna get my apartment, my house, my wish list. But all these people from the East, they know, okay, my parents and generations, they have been working hard just to give me opportunity. So I cannot be just irresponsible. Let me just study. Let me just, he feels the pressure of responsibility. I cannot just squander my time and just go for parties, just have fun. And they actually study, they work hard. Yeah, they are kind of motivated. So Maharaj explained that, no, it's not my duty to entitle you with all these nice things. My duty is to make you Krishna conscious. And I will give you whatever is available. And if you're not satisfied with that, then you should work hard for that. I'm not going to, because apparently that gentleman who was asking, he was accused by his son. He was accused by his son because that gentleman is a devotee. So he wanted to invest in spreading Krishna consciousness, I don't know, developing projects, maybe building a temple or something. But the son's saying, hey, what about me? I want a house, I want a car, and this and that. And Maharaj said, no, this is Maya. If you give him everything for granted, he's going to be spoiled. If he wants those things, let him work. Let him pay for his ideas. But if he becomes Krishna conscious, and if he really wants to be Krishna conscious, then he doesn't have to worry at all. Krishna will provide. And even if Krishna doesn't provide, he will live in more simple facilities, but he will be very happy with that. That's why Bhoga Aishwarya Prasadanam Taparitachitasa. Bhoga Aishwarya. Bhoga means enjoyment, Aishwarya, opulence. Somebody whose mind is attached to enjoyment and opulence. Samadhan Natidihate, Krishna says. There's no samadhi. There's no focus about the ultimate goal of life. There's no focus in Krishna consciousness. One is distracted. And one becomes fired up about, Prabhupada calls that very often in Bhagavatam, polluted aims of life. Sounds heavy. What do you mean polluted aim of life? I want to give a house, I want to give a car, I want to give, all these things. How is that polluted? Polluted because it's not good for people who are going to receive it. So it's very nice that they are beautiful, studying. It's very nice that they want to work. But do you want to become Krishna conscious? Even if Krishna consciousness is top priority, even if Krishna consciousness is the main thing you want to grant to the future generation, even if you give the best from yourself to give them Krishna consciousness, it may not work because living entities, they have free will. So what to speak of if you put Krishna consciousness in the second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, 14th place? Yeah. So also there's this point that Maharaj Katwanga, he just realized he just had a few moments left. He's gonna die soon. So he was in a hurry. But actually, we also are in such a position. Because do we have this moment now? No, it's gone. As soon as this the clock, these
Second
hands on the clock, they're just once you say, okay, now it's gone. So this presence practically is already gone. So the whole point which Prabhupada stresses in this purport, that Vedic culture means You do duties, you take out the trash, you act professionally as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whatever, but you work and plan and cultivate eternal consciousness, Krishna consciousness. You don't have time to wait to change your occupation. Sometimes people say, I'm doing this, I'm maybe in the future, when I retire, then I will start Krishna consciousness. No, when you retire, that's not the time to start things. That's when you should kind of finish off. You should kind of just polish whatever you have done throughout your life. We should start now. Because even if we say now, it's already gone. So it's urgent. Practically, we are living like Maharaj Katvanga. We are losing these moments that are ahead of us because they're just flowing next to us like a river or life. That's how it is. Young people, they I don't think they can really understand this. I grew up old by hearing the story of Maharaj Katvanga. I started practicing 30 years ago. So when we were just wild. We just wanted to have fun in Krishna consciousness, distribute books, just live together. That's the best thing to do. But these things were like sounded, they made sense. But now when I'm 50, I'm thinking how actually, I don't have much time. So I'm kind of more careful about my moments. It's kind of something that comes with years. So Vedic culture, Krishna consciousness culture, it's all about, actually we should live every day as it's the last day of our life. Start with the end in mind, like Prabhu. So is that depressing? No, it's not. It's just reality. And we can see that devotees who live like that, who live by that, they are quite inspired, quite smart, quite organized, quite, we can say also disciplined, but also very happy. Yeah. So that happiness comes from, being enthused by Krishna's beauty, Krishna's words, Krishna's activities, reading beautiful books, Srimad, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gita, Nectar of Devotion. Yeah, reading and trying to live by them. That's our prime duty. And of course, we'll do other things. There are also other extremes. For example, I had a friend. He was brahmachari for a long time. And then he married one girl. And they were kind of trying to sell up the apartment and everything. And she was kind of working occasionally. And then she told him, maybe you should also get a job. And he said, no, my prime duty is study Srimad Bhagavatam. And then she left. Because, I don't know. Why did you marry her if you don't wanna, you know? Yeah. She's going to work for you, so you can just study Srimad Bhagavatam. Then why did you marry? If you just want to study and teach Srimad Bhagavatam. That's another example. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma says, Jnani prayasamudha patsyanameta. It says that one should give us speculation and stani stita shrutigatam talvam avdi. In whatever position you are, don't waste time in changing too much your position until it's kind of within your grasp. Sometimes we get better opportunity for service, so we should grab that. But for the time being, if you want to live in the temple, you just live as if you're in the temple. Whatever you do, just copy paste whatever is going on in the temple. Worshipping Krishna, chanting, hearing every day. Just make Krishna conscious program, because today is gone. Today's morning program is gone. Yesterday morning program is gone. Last year's morning programs, they are gone. So did we attend them or not? So this is about avyartha kalatvam, not to waste even a moment. That greed is our prime duty, to develop greed for moments of Krishna consciousness. I think this is a very deep topic. So that's our prime duty, and we'll do other things too. And there are some who are just a little bit fed up with other duties. They want to just study Srimad Bhagavatam and give Srimad Bhagavatam to others. And there's place for them. Just like Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. There are always 4 psychophysical profiles of people, 4 types of people. Some people, they just want regulated, pious life. Yes, include pure devotional service in your life. Make morning program, make evening some kind of wrapping up your day, and do whatever it is. But you just take Krishna consciousness. Whatever you want, just do Tivra Bhakti. Tivra Bhakti Yoga, very focused Krishna consciousness. Intense. As best as you can. Build up gradually. Other people, they are Dharma, Artha. Other people, they want economic development. What can you do? It's inherited from past activities, maybe some insecurity also. They have seen maybe their parents in difficulties or something. So people naturally, they want to do it. No problem. Tirana Bhakti Yoga. Grab those moments of Krishna consciousness. Kama, people want to enjoy. Prabhupada says, if you want to enjoy, you should read Krishna book. Then by hearing, you will feel transcendental pleasure. And gradually, you will become purified. And like that. And what to speak of people who are a little bit fed up, who can find fault with all these, so-called pious life, comfortable life, or economic development. It's just economic development means filling up your purse and pulling out of purse less than you acquire, so you can have more and more. Am I right? That's it. We call it economy. It sounds very scientific. Economical. Economy, strategy, and stuff like that. But it comes down to you should put more in your accounts than you are spending. It's simple as that. Yeah. So there are people who are fed up. They want freedom, moksha. They want to just immerse themselves in Krishna consciousness. And if they want that, to get that immediately, it's also not good if it's granted. Just like Arjuna. Arjuna said, I want to leave now. And Krishna says, no. You will leave later, but now you have to fight this war. So whatever is granted is usually people take it easy. They don't take it for granted. Whatever is granted is taken for granted. So if somebody wants to be free, to immerse himself in spreading Krishna consciousness, just stay where you are. Cultivate that desire, and gradually, when time comes, Krishna will give you opportunity, and then you take that opportunity. And then when you get it, you should think it's Krishna's mercy. Don't take it for granted. Just actually become Krishna conscious. Okay. Just Prabhupada said. Actually, the Lord Chaitanya Charitamrita. Was it, to Rupa and Sanatana. They have written a letter to Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya wrote them back. Para, what's the verse? Paravyasini Nari.
I don't remember those, but you should do your duties.
Yeah, you should be like a housewife who has a paramour, who has a lover. And Prabhupada in one class, he says, this situation, a housewife having a paramour, it's not a stable situation. It's temporary. Either this paramour will run away for some other wife or girl, or the wife is going to run away with the paramour. That's how it works. It's not that this is the fixed situation. This is what I want to do till the rest of my life, and not be caught. It's not going to work. Either they are going to be caught, or this guy is going to run away with somebody else, or she's going to run away with that guy or with some other, because that's the nature of lust. People want more. So this example is very good, because ultimately devotee is cultivating Krishna consciousness. Krishna is paramour, and our duties, or whatever we have to do, it's like household duties of a housewife. But associating with paramour is the goal. And actually, we want to join the paramour eternally in his eternal life. We want to serve Krishna in any of the rasas. Shanta, Dasya means neutral, servitorship, friendship, parenthood, or conjugal lover. Yeah, that's our goal. So actually, this is our prime duty. So we should develop, we should study, and we should execute this transcendental science. I would like to stop here. Are there any questions?
I have a reflection into question, Prabhu. I appreciated this.
Yes.
Human beings are measured by how dutiful one is. If one is either not dutiful or to a certain degree dutiful, how does one practically increase their dutifulness?
Well, materially speaking, being dutiful is much better than being irresponsible. And usually why people are irresponsible. Yeah, Shastra Vidimutsija, Varchate Kama Karata. If somebody doesn't follow the instructions of Shastra, it means he's lost. Because of, people are not becoming Krishna conscious, not because, that's not for me, I'm doing something else. And we know he's just trying to enjoy it separately from Krishna. That's why he's not taking Krishna consciousness. Or why somebody's son is evading classes. How do you call that in English? In school?
Truancy.
What's that?
History class.
We call it hooky.
Cookie or whatever. Yeah. Why is he doing that? Is it because he's very much Krishna conscious? Is it because he's very dutiful? No, because he just wants to enjoy. But even dutiful people, they want to enjoy separately from Krishna. But they understood if I work like this, I'm gonna get much more stable sense gratification. So that's transcendentalist, he has to see these things. He has to recognize the problem. Because people think I'm much more regulated than beautiful than others. So I'm entitled to have a nice life, nice house, nice car. Practically, I'm entitled to enjoy separately from Krishna. So I don't have to surrender to him. So what's the use? That's the verse from first canto. You know that verse?
The Shravani Vidikela.
No, it's Narada Muni. It's Devarshi. What?
Does this reflect Arjuna's question to Krishna when he says, what is it that impels one to act against one's will, even if forceful?
Yeah, also that problem.
And he says this lust only
Yeah.
is seated in the...
Yeah, probably there are more verses in Gita explaining this. Why somebody is not kind of performing properly, not because he's too Krishna conscious. Did you find?
No.
Devarshi Utapta Mrinam
That's
Piti.
11th canto.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The worship here.
Devarshi Bhutapta Mrinam Pitrinam. Can you find that
Yes.
in the real translation?
O king, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who offers shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately.
So this, even if one apakva neglects or falls down from an attempt to serve Krishna, he is much better than dutiful materialistic people. Because even unsuccessful attempt of devotional service guarantees material prosperity in next life. According to Bhagavatam, person either goes to heaven, a person either takes birth in wealthy family. He's entitled. If you want to be entitled, surrender to Krishna. And Krishna guarantees you're going to take birth in wealthy family, so you will never have that existential fear, and you will naturally just follow up with your consciousness which you acquired in your previous life. So all these things. So we should encourage people at the same time, Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. We should encourage people who are not yet developed to be beautiful, to be nice, to be regulated, to be selfless. But from our perspective of Krishna consciousness, we understand that's like a short-term instruction. Yeah, be nice, just give donation. Actually, just by giving donation, you don't attain self-realization. For self-realization, you have to strive for that. You have to take guidance. You have to take it seriously. Nobody achieves self-realization by giving in charity. In Riga, he has become a lizard as a result of charity. Dana tapayagya, they should always be done. But if you do all these things without attempting to become Krishna conscious, practically you are neglecting your duty. You are imitating. You are neglecting your prime thing. Just like a vagabond son. He left his family. He has broken the heart of his father, and he's wandering around, and he's very dutifully doing street sweeper job somewhere. But all his activity, even if they become a little bit regulated or successful, they are breaking the heart of the father because the son is not cooperating. So like that, there are different levels of people. How one becomes dutiful? By understanding I can get more by being regulated and dutiful. But that's still predator mentality, exploiting material nature. How a devotee becomes more committed, more dutiful, that's a whole different thing. Basically, it depends on his faith in Krishna, which can be gradually developed. As one ascends on the scale from Shraddha towards Nishtha, towards steadiness, one becomes more and more committed to the cause of the Lord. Yeah. It can be externally, but also internal. Krishna consciousness is also an internal business. Is that okay? I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Grantara, Srimad, Bhagavatam.
Jai.
Thank you everyone who joined online. Bhakta team, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare